In their day, these were the most powerful rockets ever made. It was rockets like these that hurled men to the moon. These rockets are not as powerful as that array of rockets on the shuttle. That cluster of rockets is the most powerful ever put together. But it was research and development on rockets like these that made the shuttle possible. On the other hand, the shuttle, in a sense, eclipsed rockets like this. This is the last rocket, or at least the last rocket of its kind, the last of the Gemini, Mercury, Apollo, Saturn, multi-stage, non-reusable rockets. Still, it's a very impressive rocket. It's twice as long as the shuttle, 360 feet. That's taller than the Statue of Liberty. It's in 3 stages. You'll see that as we walk along. It's quite a long walk. And there's nothing wrong with this rocket. It was meant to fly. And in fact, if you brushed it up a bit, put it on a launch pad and put some fuel in it, it could take us to the moon now. But it won't. Instead, it stands or lies here as part of the National Aeronautics and Space Administration's outdoor museum here at the Kennedy Space Center. And the reason is that NASA simply ran out of money. When it came to do the budget at the end of the day, they found that already the shuttle was running over budget, and they simply couldn't afford to put this up. So it's now entered history. Still, it's a very powerful reminder of how far rocketry has come in a relatively short time. Research into rocketry really didn't begin in earnest until, well, less than 50 years ago, in Germany with the then young Wernher von Braun and fellow rocket scientists trying to find a rocket powerful enough to bomb New York, as a matter of fact. Well, in one of the ironies of history, Wernher von Braun ended up here as the head of NASA. He wrote all about these experiences in rocketry in his autobiography, I Reach for the Stars. And there was a snide little joke going around at the time, I reach for the stars, but I keep hitting London. And it's true, the predecessors to these multi-stage rockets did hit London repeatedly. But it's also true that he did reach for the stars. He lived to see these rockets send men to the moon, to send up the satellites and Skylab and the Voyagers 1 and 2. He also lived to see the shuttle, which now stands poised on the launch pad 4.5 miles down the road here. And the shuttle really is the next giant leap, the beginning of a permanent presence in space, the beginning of space industrialization, and further down the road, the beginning of space colonization. It is, as someone said, the beginnings of our finally leaving home. But on the other hand, it was in rockets like this that we did make that first big jump to the stars, because it was in rockets like this that the Voyagers 1 and 2, even as we speak, are continuing their journeys out away from our tiny planet, out to the other planets, to Venus, to Mars, to Saturn, to Jupiter, out to Pluto, and then beyond our solar system, out to the stars and to the galaxies, to Orion and to the Pleiades and beyond. So even though this old nose cone here will be forever empty, something here for the kids to play with, it's also true that in rockets like this, Wernher von Braun really did reach for the stars. Kevin Sanders at the Kennedy Space Center for Cable News Network.